Live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Angie Harper here. I'm really excited today to be talking to this wonderful woman. Her name is Dr. Kadin. We call her Dr. Kat, and her patients call her Dr. Kat. She is a board-certified pediatric and prenatal chiropractor. She's been in practice for 21 years. She's also more recently board-certified in functional medicine. And that means she's addressing problems and getting to the root cause, right, of our health concerns and our health problems, the root cause. And she'll tell us more about that. She's hosted seminars. She's a speaker and a writer. She's currently continuing her education and receiving her certificate in childhood and adolescent neurodevelopment. She's also a mom and a wife to 2 boys. We're in the 2-boy mom club, she and I. And her whole family, you guys, focuses on a wellness lifestyle, activation, exercise, proper nutrition, and travel. And guess where she and I first met? We actually first met in Ireland, right? We met on a boat in the middle of a beautiful lake on a tour called the Gap of Dunlow. And she and I just connected and we immediately became friends. We most recently were traveling in Florida together with our husbands, having a wonderful time. She's just a wealth of knowledge. And I wanted to bring her on because, number one, she's a chiropractor, right? She knows the body, both, externally and internally. And I wanted to know, what was it about, about our company that we're partnered with and about these products? What was it that drew her, a successful chiropractor of 21 years, to these products and to this, ultimately, this opportunity? So Dr. Kat, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us some of your insight, we would appreciate that.
I wouldn't mind sharing it at all. Thank you for that awesome introduction. What would you like me to first share some insight about?
I think what I first want you to share with everybody is what about the products made you say, okay, I'm going to take a look. And most importantly, how long did it take you to agree to take a look?
Oh, goodness. Well, first of all, I just want to be ever so grateful and thankful that, that God led me to this, for sure. And the persistence of the person who shared this information with me. It was about April, I'd say about 2015, April 2015, when I first heard about this information, but actually I really wasn't open to hearing about it till maybe closer to August of that same year. And what was impressed upon me was the fact that even though I was in functional medicine and I addressed the root cause and I'm a chiropractor, and I was using oils and and eating an autoimmune paleo diet and did all the healthy things and whatnot. I didn't know about activation. I didn't know that, even though I knew about the word nutrigenomics and I knew that we could use nutritional products to heal, what really got me was the fact that I'd heard stories finally, when I finally was open to hearing about it, and knowing that it was researched, independent research on PubMed, I heard stories about how people were able to decrease how many things they were taking. And I'm passionate as a chiropractor, like we shouldn't be living our life like from pill to pill, supplement to supplement, just like surviving, like I find it to be very green medicine oriented. When somebody takes a medicine and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go to an integrative doctor, and the integrative doctor's like, here, take these 7 things to replace that pill. While that's great, because it's likely healthier, first of all, that person nearly has to be a chemist to figure out exactly how much, because you really can over supplement. Mm-hmm. And so what's different here is this isn't supplementing. This isn't doing anything to dishonor the body's innate intelligence. That's what caught my attention. As chiropractors, we respect the fact that that power that made the body heals the body. We have an innate inner wisdom that knows what to do at all times. And we have these God-given pathways, these beautiful pathways. And so this sub-therapeutic quantity of these 5 herbs in this perfect synergy flip that switch on that pathway that helps to put out the fire hose of antioxidants. And I was like, this sounds too good to be true.
Wow, that's a really interesting way to put it. Can you talk a little bit about the NRF2 pathway?
Yeah, sure. So the NRF2 pathway is it's shortened from a fancy term called the nuclear erythroid factor 2 keep 1 ARA pathway. It's
what
really,
she said.
yeah, repeat that, right? If you can say that, I'll send you a stick of vaccine. So NRF2 is basically, it's a transcription factor in our body. And genes are enzymes / proteins, okay? And food is information, always. And we need food of certain kinds for the minerals that are like sometimes cofactors to flip the switches, and sometimes we need transcription factors to have their switches flipped. And so how it works basically is, if we eat antioxidants to make ourselves younger, we'd have to be sitting in a Colosseum in Rome if we ever can travel to Italy again, sit in Rome and shove a bunch of blueberries, all day long, every day, right?
Yeah.
But conversely, if we turn on this pathway in our body, we actually can turn on the cell's ability, the body's ability to make its own antioxidants. So we are created with antioxidants like glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, and a whole bunch of other ones. And those are depleted by stress and just life in general, or medicines. Like if someone takes a Tylenol, it depletes glutathione dramatically. So, and then taking, like I said before about supplementing, taking glutathione, there are a host of issues.
A lot of
people do.
Yeah, injections.
It can be good occasionally, but it's sulfur-based. So there are a whole host of people who can't do well with it, because like I, for instance, can't eat eggs, don't do well with quinoa or too much chocolate, because I have a transsulfuration pathway issue, which is a whole nother story. But a lot of people do. Everybody gets all hyped up about MTHFR, but there are a lot of MTHFR people who have a CBS pathway SNP. So taking exogenous, like from the outside, glutathione, doesn't always work well for them. And that can make them feel achy. That can make their stool smell like, foul eggs. It's just like methane smelling, like it's not ideal. It can be good in a certain situation, but guess what? If you take too much, then your body is going to deplete so many other things working hard to be able to not let it be oxidized and just to make more. So our body knows perfectly how much to make.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my maintenance way of ensuring that I have enough, of the endogenous glutathione and other things.
Okay. So obviously you know the science of the product.
A little bit. I get geeky about it.
Tell me your health story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
to me, that's what it's all about, right? It's all about real life people and real life stories and how these products have helped them. I have an incredible story, and I know you do as well. So just give us a brief version of how this changed your life.
Sure, totally. So 12 to 13 years ago, I got diagnosed. I was infertile. I got diagnosed. It had been 5 years. We had been trying. I got diagnosed with, I got diagnosed with autoimmune Graves' disease, hyperthyroidism, and type 1.5 diabetes. And this is what started me on the journey to figuring out how I can heal myself. And that was long before I knew about activation. I had gotten some things under control. And after I had my second, and I weaned my second, I had a dental procedure, and it triggered some of the autoimmune stuff to come back that I had worked so hard on. I was taking about 30 different supplements. I was doing an autoimmune paleo diet. I'm still gluten-free and dairy-free and mostly egg-free, but I'm not autoimmune anymore, which is really a relief. And long story short, when my gut got destroyed again in 2014, my skin had I had a debilitating skin rash. It was horrible. I found out much, much later that it was related to what I had said, and then some mold and a bunch of other things that are unpleasant. But reducing my oxidative stress, within 2 weeks of reducing my oxidative stress, my skin was clear. I've had flares here and there, but I can't imagine my life right now without activation. And if you can imagine a chiropractor approaching your kids, like your baby's neck with a debilitated hands, it's like not a pretty sight, not a pretty sight. So that's kind of the brief version in essence. And the irony is I partnered with the company before I started the product.
Wow.
I ended up giving it to my kid who had some sensory challenges, and it was dramatic. That and the NRF1 were dramatic.
You partnered before you even tried it. Okay, that's huge because you understood the science behind it. So let's talk about that. What made you decide, you're a successful chiropractor with a booming, business. Why network marketing?
Yeah, why, right? Well, to be honest, I love what I do. I love being a chiropractor, which is why I'm still a chiropractor. I also never in a million years thought first of all, I never thought I'd work on my own. So I've done that for the last 14, 15 years, but I never thought I'd ever pursue anything else or become passionate about anything else. But I'll be honest, like after you have infertility and you finally have the little humans, you want to hang out with them. Most people do. I mean, not everybody does. I wanted to hang out. I wanted to be them. And I was still trading dollars for hours. To make money, which thank you God for the privilege.
Linear income.
Mm-hmm. Linear income, right? I still had to have a patient on the table who has to turn around and pay me. I have to pay my staff, my brick and mortar business income. Everything else comes first and you're last as a brick and mortar entrepreneur. And so while I was enjoying it, I made my own schedule. I still had a schedule. I still had to be there when I said I would be there for somebody. And I mean, while I still do that in my other business, I didn't have the same type of freedom. So leveraged income is really the way to go. And, if you don't learn how to, what is it? Warren Buffett says, you don't learn how to make money while you're sleeping, you'll work till you die.
Till you die. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why. I mean, the business savvy side of me said, okay, but I joined truly because I wanted access to the product, and it was the only way to get access to the product. I don't buy things on Amazon unless it's the only way to get it, which it's not. And God knows what they do in their warehouses. I'll say no more about that. I also wanted the science was enough for me to prove that it would be safe for my patients. I knew that my doctors had recommended medicines to me that they didn't personally try themselves. It's not like my doctor was like, you know what, I've done radioactive iodine too. You'll be fine. Oh, I've had morphine and I've had prednisone and I've had insulin. You'll be fine. So they didn't do that. They just told me that it worked and I took it.
Right. Very true.
That's it.
Enlightening. Very true. I feel like we're on the couch having a glass of wine together right now.
I wish I were having a glass of wine. I forgot to get that before.
Well, if you're watching this live or if you're watching the replay, be sure if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Dr. Kat will be monitoring this and we'll be glad to answer any questions. And be sure to get with whoever has shared this with you or tagged you in this and get more information about our products or our opportunity, and we're always glad to share. So Dr. Kat, I like to keep these short and watchable, so I could talk to you forever, but I appreciate your time, I appreciate your wisdom, and I appreciate your heart. I really do.
Thanks so much, Angie, and I guess maybe I'll see you in Hawaii.
I'll see you in Hawaii. I can't wait. Bye. Good night, everybody. Bye.